Hello, everybody. I didn't plan on doing a Hedera video today, but I'm a little ahead of schedule before I go train and hopefully don't get punched in the face too hard. Uh, if not, just another Tuesday. What's it actually matter? But there were a couple of things that's been happening with Hedera and Hbar in the last week. So I want to get back to my old, well, when I started YouTube about a year ago, right? Of like weekly update or news videos on the crypto that I own. And I just haven't done one on Hbar in a while, mostly because I feel like a lot of people talk about Hedera, and I don't really just do this for all the clicks and stuff. I mean, it makes me feel nice and all warm and gooey inside when you guys press the subscribe and like button and all that stuff. But like, I'm not here to become a professional YouTuber or anything. So I usually don't talk about Hedera because I feel like everyone else does, and which is why I usually focus on a lot of the smaller crypto that I own. But I also just like Hbar. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So I'm going to give you guys some updates of what's been going on the last roughly week, give or take. Some rumors. I'll pull up the charts, talk about if I would DCA back into Hedera and just general price action and all that jazz. So I guess I kind of already insinuated those buttons are down there. If you get something useful from this, you find it interesting for whatever effing reason, or I just keep coming across your feed well enough, might as well press those. Just saying. Either way, I appreciate you guys being here in all honesty. And let's just get into this video so we can talk about Hbar. So what's been new with Hedera, other than it is one of my two most bullish crypto by far. Like that and quant, not even Arrow comes close. I was gonna say not even close. Now I very much like Aerodrome too. Those are my three safe crypto in my portfolio, we'll call it. And Hedera is constantly doing things. They've been actively doing shit for years when price action was stuck down at 4 cents, and they're still actively doing shit, which is awesome, right? Uh, they've been releasing a lot of educational videos to both retail and to corporations about what is Hedera, what can they do. They have it broken down for like if you're in the AI sector, if you're in the CBD sector, CBDC sector, and all that. So they're targeting various parts of their demographics because Hedera does goddamn near everything. It's in almost every narrative and little space of investment. And there's just been popping out a bunch of education videos, which is great that they're doing that much for advertising because most people who are into crypto have heard of Hbar. But it's not that you just have to hear of something to want to invest in it or use it. We got to hear things several times, guys. We have very thick skulls and just don't jump into things right away, or we always jump into things right away. And that's a bigger problem, different story. But I like that they've been doing a lot more how-to and educational videos that they're popping out everywhere on social media and conferences. Speaking of, they're going to another freaking conference. They go to so many of these things, usually as speakers or as like, I don't call it guests of honor, where they have like a large table and they're kind of in the forefront of everything. It's the network they have. I mean, both the Hashgraph network, so to speak, and just the network of what they do, the people that they know, the people that they know that knows who. And they're going to be at the CBOS conference in October this time as well with a couple different things. Just general market news, a couple other announcements, like the ETF I'll talk about in a couple of seconds, of where in October, a lot of us, me included, is expecting a lot of crypto to really be going up at that point. We'll find out. But at this conference is going to be mostly about discussions of stable coins, CBDCs, AI, tokenization. Those are like the four biggest things Hedera does, right? So it's great that they're going to be there. They're going to be involved. And it's just great news. These, with the larger conferences like this, tend to be price action boosters, which is why I care about it, right? There could be some big news that comes out of this conference for Hedera. I'm not aware of anything that we're expecting, but we'll find out in, I don't know, 2 months, right? ETFs is a big deal this cycle. No question about it. It's what really started boosting Bitcoin. It took Ethereum a little bit longer, but it's really what's boosting Ethereum now because of people who are not typically into crypto. Think your general Wall Street guys, your companies, your industry. These guys will buy ETFs. They understand those. You say crypto and it confuses people because they don't understand it's just another thing. It was like a small stock company is what most of these are. But regardless, they understand ETFs and people jump into it. It's why we're so excited by things like Solana ETF is likely coming out soon. Probably then XRP and Litecoin and a couple others. But I opened up a swing trade of Solana just because I'm confident we're going to have a huge price boost in the next 2 months from Solana getting ETF. A couple other things they're doing too. But there's more buzz coming on about Grayscale's ETF. We got Canary that's in there as well on the SEC's desk, but Grayscale's the big one, right? Like that's the one that we really want to get into it in the next couple of months. So there's more news about it happening sooner. It's up to almost a 60% chance, which it's just been growing, right? There's been no stalemate or regression of the possibility of it. And that 57%, all we need to hear is that, hey, it's going to happen eventually. If we hear in the next 3 months that Grayscale's ETF was approved, it doesn't really even matter if the ETF doesn't get out to be used for a year from now. Just announcing at the right time that there's an ETF will boost everything up. And then that would also make Hbar a great long-term play, in my opinion. But this ETF is a big deal, guys. Looking forward to hearing more official announcements about this. And I think we're going to. I really think that it's just a matter of time because Hbar is used and talked about by a lot of large companies that are in the top, 100 and everything in stocks. Google, IBM, Dell, Elon Musk uses it for SpaceX. There's so many things that's in there. LG, banks, blah, blah, blah. I think it's just a matter of time. Hoping that time is the next couple of months, and I think it will be. So there was two what I think is really large news about Hedera in the last week. One is probably harder for more people to think is a great thing because it's not going to turn into price action right away, and it's a little harder to understand how it will. But in short, they updated their system to make it easier for people to hop in and make dApps on Hashgraph, which is awesome. At least I think that's awesome. If you put out a toolkit like they're doing to make it easier for people just to come in, make their programs, it means it's going to be faster for them to do it. And it's less effort on their part. And people like putting in less effort for a product, right? It's one of the things that, though I don't own Beam, I really like about Beam. They do the same thing for gaming. They have a little toolkit out there for companies to use that makes it a lot easier for them to make the product, the game. So this is going to make it a lot easier for future companies or current companies to create dApps and everything on Hedera. This is a big deal. The next one that got a lot more attention is about Wyoming's Frontier stablecoin. We'll call it Front. It's FRNT, Front or Wyoming coin, whatever, right? So one, I don't actually give a crap about Wyoming putting a stable coin out there. Like that by itself does not excite me. Okay, cool. I didn't even look up to see how many millions of dollars or anything is going to be put onto it. That's how little I cared about that direct fact. But now there's a precedent for states to put stable coins on Hedera. That's a big freaking deal, right? When one person does something, it increases the odds of other people doing things, right? Just like if one company makes an ETF, more companies, when they see it's happening, is going to make an ETF, right? When several years back, what state was it? Was it Oregon was the first one Colorado was the first state to legalize marijuana, and they realized how much money was coming into it. They built couple hundred different banks and schools with profits. They were giving money back to taxpayers. And all of a sudden, every other state's like, holy shit, do you know what? Maybe weed is not the devil's grass, or so let's profit from the devil's grass, right? And same kind of concept with, yes, I just compared weed to stable coins. I'm cool with that, right? But now it's more likely that other states are going to put out stable coins in general. But if it works well for Wyoming, other states are going to hop in because they already know it's easy to do. They don't have to test a system. They don't have to test another blockchain to see how it's going to work because they already know it does. So that's the bigger deal to me, is the ripple effect of having more states or just large government bodies throwing more stable coins on it. It's why I liked it when JP Morgan did it for Aerodrome. That was a big deal. More are now going to do it because the precedent is set and they know it works. Awesome sauce. Let's look at charts. Okay, I'm here on TradingView. In case you guys haven't seen one of my videos like this, I am not getting into a deep TA analysis where we're looking for like cup handles and double head and shoulders, inverted this, any of that. I'm looking more at gross motions of resistance and support, right? If I was looking to day trade again or put into short-term leverage, different story. I'm not looking at leverage trading too much yet, other than the one I put in for Solana. There will be a lot more in the future as crypto starts really going up, gets more volatile, and I start selling my spot bags. So I'll be looking as more of a gross economic view, not, hey, here's a good time to put into a leverage trade or anything like that. I'm looking for accumulation zones and where we're probably going to go and hold. So these blue lines I have are actually from a video a little while ago. I just decided not to update them, look at them, see what all's changed or hasn't changed. So I've marked here these blue lines are areas where there was a lot of support and resistance throughout. And you can see a lot here. I could zoom out in a few and you can see it a lot more there. And I had down here at 18 cents being a common spot of bouncing or good area, I think, to hop in DCA. Yeah, we can also say, hey, it would be great down here at 14 cents or so, but I don't actually think it's going to hop down to the 14 or 15 cents anymore. But if you think there's going to be a Black Swan event, that's not a bad spot to put in a Hail Mary buy limit right here around the upper part of 15 cents. If for some reason I'm wrong and we go down that low, you'll get in at a great price that most people have bought in the last year haven't gotten at. Right around 23 cents is where we were holding stable for a little while, and I assumed that we were going to. And it hasn't really broken that out yet. We've dropped a little bit, but we're still within the two main ranges that like we want to stay between these two. Okay, we want to go up a lot further. But, we don't want to go below 18 cents. We start going a little bit into a hellhole there. So we're still kind of hanging out. So this appears to be the new accumulation zone around 21 cents. Not a bad spot to be into it. Again, I'm not buying any more Hbar. My average is at 6 cents. I'm happy with the bags. I'll pop into other things. I'm planning on selling Hbar if it does the motions and movement that I think it will in the next 2 months. I'll start DCAing out. No, I won't sell my whole bag, but once it gets up here, hits close to all-time highs in the mid 40 cents, yeah, I'll be selling a big percentage to start moving it into microcaps to front run all of that. But if you want to start opening a spot position on Hbar, I don't think it's going to go too much lower. Again, you can always put in for 18 cents, or you can think I'm full of shit and drop in sooner. But I think now's really going to be the best entry we're going to get outside of, again, some Black Swan events, some macroeconomic disasters, or Trump just puts one too many tweets out in a day. Never know. But if I need to point out anything here is looking that we're getting the higher low phenomenon. So as we zoom out and look at back here when everything was doing well, I'll call it the Trump pump, really just January or December to February, most crypto did very well, had a little mini bull teaser, right? So aside from that, we mostly went down swings, but we're definitely now back at the higher lows category. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And my best guess is that we're going to hang out here for the next week or two. And if we get that rate cut, I think we're going to blast back up here past the 27 cents. I expect it to. Hbar is one of the top crypto. Everyone knows about it. Your opinion aside from it, it's popular. People are going to end up buying it. And I think there's a good chance we're going to end up back here at the 27 to 30 cent marker after the rate cut. And if they time some certain news with it, like let's say an ETF announcement comes out the same week as the rate cut, not saying I think it will, that'd be awesome, but that would boost it up, probably getting close to, we'd see a huge run. I wouldn't be surprised if it got up into the 40 to 50 cent from there. That's a lot of, what ifs and how to's, but I think Hbar is sitting at a good spot. We always want to be 5 times higher, but for where the market is, I'm thrilled with this. So guys, that's about it. If you got anything from this video, please do press the like and subscribe button. It means a lot to me. It really just helps me out. But otherwise, let me know any of your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think about Hbar? How far do you think it's going to go in this bull run, or really in the just next month or so? Do you think that there's going to be a rate cut and that's going to be a big catalyst? You ready for the ETFs? It's going to be a big deal for a lot of crypto this cycle. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. Peace.